I have a degree in math, finance, and economics, and I kind of heart numbers. Okay, some of you still do. So you know, when you're on Facebook, there's these ads that kind of show up on the side offering you all sorts of fabulous stuff based off of your last purchases and your profile and all that. Well, last month, this t-shirt comes up and it reads, I'm a math major. Of course, I have problems. So there it is. I'm telling you all about my love affair with numbers and that I have problems. So hopefully you have problems too. Yes? Awesome. So then we're all friends again. We've come full circle and you heart me again? Okay. So are you ready to get knee deep in fiscal responsibility? Yes. Do not worry. You will not need your calculators for this. Sounds good? But I do need you to get out a pen and a notebook. And we're gonna go old school here for just one moment. And I want you to jot down a few simple things. Because if I just tell you, you're gonna forget. And if I just show you, then you will remember. However, when I involve you, then you will understand. So all senses ready to be engaged? All right, I want you to write down your biggest, craziest, most amazing Mary Kay dream come true. If this would happen, that would be the ultimate Mary Kay accomplishment for you and for your Mary Kay business. I want you to write it down. Don't look at your neighbors. Don't talk to your neighbor. And after you write it down, I want you to put your pen down and just look up here so I kind of know that you're done writing down your biggest Mary Kay vision, your biggest possible dream come true. Once your pen is down, I just want you to close your eyes. And if you're still looking at me, your eyes are open, by the way. I can see them. Close your eyes. And while your eyes are closed, not looking at your phone, not looking at your neighbor, just really stepping into the moment with your eyes closed, I want you to dream about something bigger than what you just wrote down on that piece of paper. What is bigger than what you just wrote down on that piece of paper? And I want your mind to stretch. And it might hurt a little bit because you just wrote down your biggest Mary Kay dream, but I want you to go there, just stretch. And once you got it, I want you to open your eyes and write it down really fast. I want you to write down what you just thought about. Now here's the question I have for you. When I asked you to write down your biggest, craziest, most amazing Mary Kay dream come true, what kept you from writing down the second response the first time I asked? What held you back? You see, we're so used to living in this world that has limitations, that at some subconscious level we limit ourselves. And isn't that mind-blowing? We're so used to living in this world where you can have your cake, but you can't eat it too. And here, we place zero restrictions on this question. I said, just go there with me. And somehow we all found a way to restrict ourselves. I remember because the first time I did this exercise, I was completely shocked because I always considered myself this really big thinker. And then I had to face the reality that I too struggled with limitations. Well, I'm here to say, welcome to the world of Mary Kay, where there's no glass ceiling, where you can have your cake and you can eat it too. And in Mary Kay, you can have two things. It all. Come along with us and keep your eye on the target while you keep your heart on the soul. And know that you will always arrive where you're supposed to, depending upon how high you set your sights and how willing you are to pay a bigger price than others will ever know about. Elite Executive Senior National Sales Director Emeritus Ann Newberry said that at Seminar 2005. And the part that has always stood out to me is when she says, depending upon how high you set your sights. You see, she knew many would lower the bar and settle for less and just trade down into their comfy zone, right? We love our comfy zone instead of dreaming and risking to dream big. Dreaming is risky business, or so it seems, right? What's actually riskier? What's the opposite? To not dream and then just live in a rut because it's just safer there? So today we're going to spend our time talking about this tension. The tension that exists between being this big dreamer, this big risk taker, having huge vision, and on the flip side of the same coin, being conservative with your money and your time and running a successful business. You know, the role of director does not have to mean extravagant lifestyle or extravagant business expenses. There are ways to be conservative with money and time and still be very successful. So 12 years ago after seminar, I grabbed the most recent copy of the Applause magazine. I looked up Ann Newberry's most recent printed love check, and I calculated what her family security program commission would be. And it was about $60,000 in family security program income in 1 month. So I ran a few numbers for myself and I figured, well, if I debut as a national at this point, and I'll get to serve about 35 years, and then I add the cost of inflation, I'm gonna set a goal to retire with $100,000 a month in family security income when I graduate as an emeritus. So how does one even have the courage to dream that big? Many of us, we were raised thinking we could do anything. And guess what? You're right and your mom was right. You can do anything. But you can't do everything. And this is your first lesson in fiscal responsibility. The single most valuable thing you possess is your time. It is your greatest asset because your time, it's your life. And I don't use the H word very often, but I can tell you, I hate wasting time. I hate wasting your time. I hate wasting my time. So before you make a decision, ask yourself, what return can I expect on this investment of time in terms of money saved and income produced? And since this is a class on fiscal responsibility, y'all know what ROI is? Yes? What is it? Very good. Return on investment. And what is the biggest return on investment in your Mary Kay business? Well, for most of your Mary Kay career, the answer will be at a Mary Kay beauty experience or party or show or class or whatever you call it. When I started Mary Kay, I respected it like a business because of my incredible senior sales director, Daisha Wiegand. I decided to work this as a business and not as a hobby because I wanted to honor her example and because I saw a woman making a six-figure income, and that is exactly what I was after. Daisha really set the bar high for what I could accomplish and for the activity that would be necessary. It's not like I had to go out there and figure it out. I just had to copy the cat. If she can do it, then I can do it. If she can do it, then I can do it. If she can do it, then I can do it. And I just repeated that to myself, and I followed with action. And a Power Start became a way of life for me each and every month. There were no Spanx on my brain. I had no idea what was not possible. I was only sure of what was possible because of her example. And she kept it so simple. She did a party, she did a party, she did a party, she did a party, she did a party. Then she held a weekly success meeting, and then she hit the repeat button and did it again the next week. And I copied the cat. We must stop this over-glorification of busy in our society. And I get that we're all busy, but ask yourself, am I busy or am I productive? Busy people work hard, and productive people, they work smart. Busy people react to notifications, emails, text messages. Productive people are proactive about the direction of their day. Busy people, they say yes to everyone and to everything. But productive people, they will say yes and no strategically. Productive people have people, tools, and services to help them. And guess what? It takes a lot of courage to do what you just wrote down on that piece of paper. It takes courage to say no and to not reply to every notification. It takes courage to be held accountable. It takes courage to lead. It takes courage to believe you can make a difference. It takes courage to set the pace. And without courage, we simply cannot encourage other people, because to encourage means to put your courage inside of someone else. That means you must first possess the courage. And courage is like a muscle. We strengthen it with every use, and that is why there's only 3 ways to lead. And let's say it all together in honor of our beautiful founder, Mary Kay Ash. We lead by example, and by example. Be strong and courageous. The Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Now I want you to please stand up, nothing in your hands. Just stand up right where you are, put everything on your chair. And I'm gonna ask you to just kind of turn around. It doesn't matter to left or to right. And I want you to just try to turn around and look as far back as you possibly can without hurting yourself. And I want you to memorize what you're looking at. You got it? And now turn back around and look at me. And I want you to close your eyes. Close your eyes, everybody, close your eyes. And I want you to imagine that you're twisting around. Don't actually move. Just imagine that you're twisting around and that you're moving as far to that side as you possibly can. Get to what you were just looking at. And I want you to imagine yourself moving past that point. You can see yourself twisting further than before. All right, now open your eyes. I'm going to count to 3. And when I count to 3, I want you to actually twist around and try to go further than you did before. You guys ready? 1, 2, 3, twist. Was that so much easier? Did you go further? Wasn't it painless? It was almost practically effortless, wasn't it? All right, now go ahead and sit down. When you compare the first twist, were you just simply kind of like going through the motions that's what you were doing? You were just doing what I asked you to do? Have you ever felt that way in life, that you're just going through the motions? You're just doing what your director asked you to do, or your national asked you to do? And there's a difference when you stop and you visualize and you know exactly where you're going and you have a clear vision of where you're headed and the activity needed to reach that vision. You know, I've missed many goals in my Mary Kay career, and there was a difference when I reached a goal. When I had visualized the goal every day in my mind and the deadline came and went, guess what? Hitting the reset button on that goal was so much easier because I had lived in that vision over and over. And I knew with just a little more time, I would reach the goal. But remember, we're not going towards our goals, we're actually coming from them. And visualizing your goal is priceless. And perhaps you're better at this when it comes to earning your next car or a diamond ring or a top director trip. But let's be honest, how often do you visualize yourself saying no to somebody that is asking for your time? Or saying no to an unnecessary purchase so that you can say yes to that dream vacation, or so that you can say yes to the bigger home? And we must practice visiting the vision over and over and over until we have developed a stronger vision muscle. How often will you visit the vision? What time of day will you visit the vision? What will you do after you visit the vision? You know, when you're feeling discouraged, what is your system to reset, to reach the vision? You see, your visions are just like children. How many of you have children? So as you know, you must feed the children and nourish the children, the vision. You must care for and clothe the vision. You must spend quality time with the vision. And those who achieve the vision are usually completely obsessed with the vision. And there's no room for luck on this journey. And trust me, when you get obsessed with the vision, and you visit it daily, and you water it, and you feed it, and you love on it, and you protect it, guess what? You're gonna make a budget. You heard me right. You know, I had to talk about budgets at one point. Just to get an idea, how many of you are already responsible for your family's budget? Like, this is what you do. It's about half of you. Some have more experience than others, and I know you're thinking, oh, Ari, I've done a budget, I've done one of those things before, and I'm just gonna stick to it. Trust me, I hear you. My family budget, my business budget have gone through tweaking. But let me ask you, when was the best time for you to plant a tree? 20 years ago. When was the next best time to plant a tree? Right now. You have to start somewhere. I was committed to my sales director budget. I had an Excel spreadsheet and I adjusted it every single month. Why? Because I wanted to be a national sales director more than the air I was breathing. I knew I had to have this budget thing figured out so that I could be duplicatable and teach my offspring how to be profit and how to bring others along the journey. What's more fun, one offspring or 100? That's right. Prioritize your most important categories, your savings, your taxes, root for technology and hired help and travel and prizes and promotions. But be smart. Keep the paycheck you've earned. You know, Mary Kay prizes our consultants at the 600 wholesale reorder every month. I want you to self-evaluate. Is double pricing them really going to give them more motivation? Are you getting the most mileage out of that investment?